Is Maison Margiela's Replica Jazz Club still worth it in 2025? When I tell you I used to hate this fragrance and now it's a must in my collection, come back and I'll tell you why this smoky, boozy, and designer fragrance, oh no, is worth it and why it changed my mind. But you gotta come back. Come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video of Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're into fragrance reviews, layering combos, and just smelling like you got your life put together, then you know what you got to do. Stay blessed, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So we're talking about Jazz Club. I hated this fragrance, but I think it's a testament of a lot of us in our journey, right? You start off liking pretty popular crowd-pleasing scents, and then as your collection grows and your taste evolves, you start to like different scents and things that you would have never liked before, like oud or something like that. So that's the case with me in Jazz Club. I hated this fragrance. You smell it straight. I remember specifically smelling it straight from the nozzle at Sephora, and I was like, oof, no, absolutely not. But then my boyfriend had reminded me he had wore this fragrance one time to when we went to a Yankee game or something like that, and I was like, oh, I didn't think he stunk or anything like that. So, but it was nothing, I guess, memorable to me. And within time, like I said, my taste has evolved. So I had a sample of Jazz Club, and every so often I would revisit it, and I didn't find it repulsive like I originally did, but it still wasn't for me. Then the following year, I remember smelling it, and I was like, it's not that bad. But I felt it was too masculine, excuse me. Finally, a couple of months ago, I'm like, you know what? I love boozy, smoky scents. Let me try this again. Tested it out on my skin, and I was like, oh yeah, no, this is fire. We need to cop this. So for about $80 or so off of Joma Shop, we got a full-size bottle, and now it's in my possession, and I absolutely love it. All right, so let's jump into the notes. Some of them are pink pepper, rum, tobacco, and vanilla. This one opens up with, it's warm, it's boozy rum, a hint of spice, I guess, from the pink pepper. But then as it settles in, you get that tobacco and the smokiness that rises up, and it wraps around this creamy vanilla base. It's extremely intoxicating. Maison Margiela with their Replica line does a fantastic job of nailing the memory concept, because this literally smells like, maybe not necessarily a jazz club, but it could be a jazz club. But if you've never been to a jazz club, maybe just a lounge, a chilled lounge that's dimly lit, and the smoke is in the air and the booze is flowing. That's exactly what this reminds me. Just a chill, grown vibe at a lounge, and they nailed this perfectly. It's incredible, it's sophisticated, it's cozy and mellow, and it's not necessarily like a wild party, but I don't think obviously it was meant to be that. It's just pure sophistication and chilled vibes only. So who is this for, and when am I rocking this? Fellas, this is absolutely the fragrance for you guys. Ladies, don't change that dial though, right? If you're into boozy, tobacco scents, masculine leaning scents like I am, you'll definitely enjoy this one. This is definitely for the confident woman, and it has that sweet vanilla base to it, so it's incredible for us. But fellas, this one is definitely for you. I'm rocking this in the fall for sure, definitely in the winter, but definitely not in the warmer seasons, just because it might be a little too much. But fall and winter definitely is a vibe. I'm wearing this out to dinner, for drinks, like I said, going to a lounge. I might even, if you're still into partying and going out to a club or something like that, you can definitely rock that. Not necessarily this is made for the wild party vibe, as I mentioned, what it smells like, but it definitely fits just the going out vibes, because you have the elements of booze and smoke in this, and that's where you find those type of elements in that type of scene. So you could definitely rock it to a party, but for sure, I think this is perfect for dinner, going out for drinks, a lounge. Heck, I would even wear this to the office, and I wear all my fragrances to the office, so it doesn't matter. But definitely to the office, and then afterwards you're going out for happy hour. It transitions beautifully into that vibe. Now, in regards to performance, the longevity, I think it's lacking. Maybe it's something within time. As I, have it for a while, it'll get a little bit stronger. But for me, I felt like this was something I had to overspray, and even still, I had to spray it multiple times. So that's the unfortunate part about this one, but it's definitely incredible. It's just something that I feel that has to be oversprayed to get any type of performance with this. All right, let's jump into the layering combo. As always, we start off with an unscented soap, and then since I was testing this fragrance out, so I didn't just want to jump into a layering combo immediately, I decided to use from Bath & Body Works their Vanilla Noir, just because I find it's a masculine type of vanilla, so I thought that would be a good base to start with. And then I use, shout out to my friend Raven, I'm not sure if she's still making body butters at this particular moment, but last year I had purchased from her one of her whipped shea butters, Ray Butter Baby. This one is sweet tobacco and amber. Decided to pair it with this just because of obviously the tobacco note in here. Then I decided to pair with Brown Sugar Babe's Sweet Smoke. This is their inspired by body oil, I believe, of tobacco honey from Guerlain or Guerlain, however you want to pronounce it. But just I wanted to get that smokiness, that sweetness going together, and that was cute. But to be perfectly honest, I don't know if I'm too fond of tobacco honey, so it didn't wow me, but it did what it needed to do in regards to the body oil and this first layering combo. Then after that, I decided to use a couple of different layering combos. First up, we again used Vanilla Noir after the unscented body soap. Then I decided to use from Skin Potion Aphrodisiac. If you've seen my videos, I told you guys I absolutely love this body butter. It is incredible. I would love for them to actually make an oil of this, but this is spice, vanilla, incredible. And then I decided to pair it with Brown Sugar Babe's Blonde Ambition. This is their inspired by body oil of Clive Christian's Blonde Amber. So that was beautiful with that. And then I layered it with Christian Dior's from the Dior Privé line, Vanilla Diorama. Incredible. Again, though, unfortunately, I felt like I had to really overspray this one because it's a light one, but paired together, it's really nice. And then lastly, instead of using Vanilla Noir body wash, I used from Tree Hut their Cinnamon Dolce Foaming Gel Wash, and then I used the matching Shea Sugar Scrub. You can see I'm holding on to it, but we've been using it just because it was limited edition. And then we have here Fenty Skin's Warm Shimmering, always gotta look, Warm Shimmering Whipped Oil Body Cream, their cinnamon one. I actually just during the Sephora savings event wound up picking the mini one up because that is the best cinnamon body cream I've ever smelled. So I don't ever want to be out of it. If I have to get the mini, then so be it. But I used that. Wound up using Blonde Ambition again from Brown Sugar Babe, and then this time layering Jazz Club with Parfum de Marley's Harriet, just because it has that cinnamon note in it, even though there's no cinnamon, but vanilla, tobacco, and I believe a rum note in there too. So that booziness is just really good and comforting and intoxicating. So that is my combo. Those are my combos. And for my recommendation for Jazz Club, I would 1,000% recommend this. I think this is a great fragrance to start your collection with. Specifically, it's a designer fragrance, right? Just because Maison Margiela obviously doesn't just stick to fragrances, but it still gives that niche vibe. So I think this is a great starter fragrance to own in your collection, especially if your taste has evolved like mine has. I definitely would recommend this, and you can find this for really cheap. Now, in regards to the retail price, I think it's like $160 or so. Unfortunately, the performance doesn't justify that, but again, as I mentioned, you can definitely find this one for really cheap like I did. for like $80 off of Joma Shop. So definitely something to have in your collection if you love boozy, smoky scents. That is my video. Thank you so much for watching. I know I'm late to the party as always, but let me know what you think of Jazz Club. Is it something that you still have in your collection? Or maybe you don't even have it in your collection. Let me know. Stay blessed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.